do coaching or therapy? And that is such a great question for anyone to ask. And there have been many instances in which someone reached out to work with me, or maybe we started working together and I realized that they really needed therapy or to work with a psychiatrist or some other modality. So it's possible that coaching is right for you at this time. It's possible that a different type of healing is needed. So yeah, let me try and paint a picture. So I do help people with the types of goals that would bring someone to therapy. And again, the cost is comparable to therapy. And I work with people on a sliding scale. And I help people with big emotions. So that's probably an area that I love helping people with the most. So you're feeling stuck in some way or at work or in your personal life, and it seems like big emotional responses are getting in the way. Either you're having a really big elevated reaction, you're getting into fights with your spouse, verbal fights, going through a lot of breakups, or things at work just always seem to stress you out to the max, or you're really down regulated, struggling with feeling really down all the time, cynical, seeing things in a really dark way. So your nervous system is really shut down. You tend to freeze up a lot at work. You don't feel productive anymore. Or when you get into tiffs with your significant other, you find yourself really shutting them out and you can't figure out why. So I really love helping people figure out how to regulate these emotional responses. And that's a result of my own healing journey and all of the work that I've put in to figuring out how to do that. And because I've seen how it's so important to have healthy emotional habits for our happiness and our ability to do life. I think I felt so numb for so long, and learning how to safely feel a whole range of human emotions is what finally helped me come alive and feel that, wow, I can really do this life thing. So, and even despite anything that may be going on around us that's chaotic, whether it's in our homes or our communities or the state we live in or the nation we live in, there's a lot out there that's chaotic and unpredictable, especially right now in 2025. We're being bombarded with really unbearable political news every day. And having a strong emotion regulation practice can help us face anything. And I really, truly believe that. And I love helping people figure out how to have a robust emotional life, one where we can safely feel disappointment, frustration, humiliation, embarrassment, but also joy and love and connection and hope. And just learning how to feel these emotions safely in the body, learning how to write and journal about these emotions, learning how to connect with others by sharing these emotions, and then ultimately learning how to manage our emotions so they don't get in the way at work or at home. So that is something that's very similar to working with a therapist. I tend to have it be very much more goal-oriented than you might see in a therapist's office. So we look at micro behaviors, and shifting and changing those and practicing those. So I will be giving specific habit change practices and checking in. So having that accountability, did you do what you said you're going to do? And that's a little different than therapy. And it's what my clients say they tend to like about working with me as their coach. Sometimes in tandem with therapy is being able to then set those goals and then make those changes happen. So typically I do hear sometimes it's a complaint or sometimes it's just a limitation of therapy is that you're talking, but you're not necessarily making change. And so that's where working with me on some of these things where you can actually put the therapy into practice. So I love helping people with those types of goals. And so that's where there's some overlap, but also where there's a difference. There's inside out change and outside in change. And so outside in change is like what I was saying about wearing the bracelet and noticing when I felt irritable. And it's like, oh, it's because I need to drink more water, and then drinking more water. So that's outside in. That's like tweaking little habits. But inside out change is excavating down there and seeing if there was some sort of limiting belief. So it might be something like, oh, my mom was always in a rush to leave the house in the morning, and I didn't always grab everything that I needed, including my water bottle or my lunch, and so now I have this mindset that I just need to get out of the house really quickly without making sure I have everything. And then I might say, okay, let me slow down and heal my inner child that may be feeling some sort of wound, and start setting this intention to really slow down my morning routine so that I grab my water bottle. So that's inside out change. You're looking and seeing if there's a wound or some sort of inherited habit or belief, and you're healing that, and you're giving your inner child some attention and love. And then you're going, wow, I would like to be more caring of myself, more than what I may have received in childhood. And so that sort of naturally changes our motivation to do things. And so sometimes I call the outside in change white knuckling it. Like, I'm just going to try with all my willpower to change this thing. And the inside out can often feel hard too, because we have to get to this really soft, wounded place. But then the change comes a little more naturally and easily. So those are the two. We will do both. Both are needed. Sometimes you just want to change and tweak the little things on the outside without digging in. And sometimes we do want to dig in and look underneath.